Having the lake here is something you don't really think about until you leave. You start getting older and looking at things differently, and then you realize how big of a role it plays in your life. I grew up here, so I spent a lot of time outside. I was always around woodworking, like my dad has a shop in the basement. I didn't really have an interest in it until college, and I was 4 years into a business degree, and then I don't know, something just clicked and I took a woodworking class. Having grown up around woodworking and stuff and then stepping into the wood shop, it kind of worked itself out essentially, that this was a career path that I could do, and then I just kind of went to town with it. Yeah, the biggest influence for the Wave series is Lake Superior, but it's not necessarily Lake Superior. It's more influenced by the idea of movement and the dynamic environment that surrounds the lake. There's waves and ice, rocks, snow. It's not necessarily water, but that movement can be found all across nature, whether it's in snowdrifts and sand. And that's a movement that's found kind of in the UP as well. It's just really a dynamic environment. And that's kind of where a lot of the inspiration comes from. So there's kind of a blend with my woodworking, because some parts are very tedious. You're kind of constrained to certain rules of what the wood is and like how it's gonna move and how it's going to react. But once you start to the carving part of stuff, it can be more flowing and organic and go wherever it takes you. It's definitely something that I can lose myself in. I like to be completely immersed into whatever I'm doing. There's a certain element of chance in my work. Like when you burn something, you don't know exactly what's gonna happen. Burning has been something that I've been doing for the last 10 years, really. Experimenting with how various woods burn and like how to burn them and what you do after you burn the wood. Because a lot of the inspiration not only comes from my environment, but it also comes from the work. As I'm working on one piece, I'll get an idea for another piece. How the light plays off of it has a lot to do with how I'm finishing the work. The first black pieces I do were really flat. I was able to start experimenting with different top coats on top of that, which kind of helped the light and the texture to reflect different ways. It gives it significantly more depth with the pieces that I'm doing now. I don't ever necessarily set out to make a piece specific to something. I never want to say, there's a wave that I want to make specifically, but that wave eventually influences a piece that I will make. When people see my artwork, I'm hoping that it kind of brings them a sense of calm, a sense of wholeness, like they're on that body of water. And I'm hoping that it kind of helps them connect more with nature as well.